This makes me feel suspicious about the step whiffy.
About the whiffy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
You can't get picked too early or you don't fully ripen.
Right. We take the baby to the barbecue, but not put them on the barbecue. But the signs are there.
The signs are very much there. The signs are neon.
You're through to 1-800-DRAMA.
The show where you share your biggest dilemmas.
And we help you navigate them.
I'm Shaaba.
And I'm Jamie.
Come join us as we help people figure out if they are the drama.
Because sometimes you just need an outside perspective.
And we can all expand our own mindsets along the way.
Wait, am I the drama?
Red flag, green flag, Shaaba.
Hit me.
Watching YouTube on 2x speed.
The call out.
Well, it's not me calling you out, it's Blap152. Thank you so much for submitting this as a red flag, green flag.
Blap, how dare you? I listen to things on 2x speed. I'd listen to things on 4x speed if I could.
What?
Genuinely. Like, I know it sounds really hard now, but you get used to it.
You do. To be honest, I do video stuff in 2x speed, and then when I watch it on regular speed,
it feels so slow.
I feel like I talk very slowly.
Yeah. What do you think, Peaches? Just as like a general poll, do we speak too fast, too slow, or just right? I know we have different talking speeds as well, so if you happen to, well, I guess you listen to these videos, which are both of us.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to know. I can 2x myself. Mm-hmm. There's very few people that I struggle to 2x with. Rolly is one of them. he speaks so fast that I do find it...
I can 1.5 speed, Rolly.
No, I can 2x him, but I have to pay attention.
Sure.
But yeah, basically you're calling me out. Cover me in ketchup, stick me on a pole. I'm a big red flag because
I'm going to green
I 2x
flag it.
everything.
I think it's green flag. I think if you want to watch things faster, if your brain can absorb the information that quick, then why am I going to spend half an hour watching a video when it's 15 minutes?
Because why do we need to live, Jamie, in this world of goddamn productivity and going too fast? That's the red flag element of this. And you know who I blame? I don't mean to be a conspiracy theorist, but I blame TikTok. I'm sure TikTok have actually admitted to this and said it was a bad thing that they have made popular content so short because the over-consumerism and the way it's conditioned our brains. Now they've tried to correct it, right? And I'm really happy that they have because they're now doing longer videos.
Okay.
I think the damage is kind of already done.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the effort.
And you can 2x speed short content now as well.
Yeah, except for on YouTube. Keeping our
sure
mental health nice and slow. So you green flag it?
I green flag it.
Yeah, I green flag it as a personal practice, but I red flag why we need to do it as a society. All right, Jamie, are you ready to go fishing for assholes? Let's go. Ooh, drama.
Am I the drama, Shaaba?
Always.
For telling my son not to invite my wife to his graduation.
Ooh.
Oh.
Why would you not want
This
that?
sounds very interesting.
OP says, I'm a 36-year-old man and I've got a son who's 17. 17 feels a bit young to graduate.
High school.
Of course. This is American graduation.
American.
Wait, so when would that be for us?
That's the end of A-levels.
Fair. Deserving of a celebration. Sure.
Sure.
The end of... Is it the same in America where, like, education is compulsory? Well, actually, education is compulsory up until GCSEs.
16 here.
Yeah, A-levels or whatever
But I
they're called
think
now.
it's 18 in the States.
Damn. My 17-year-old son is graduating high school this year. His mum and I split up when he was young, and I got married to my now wife, who is a 37-year-old woman. I was laughing.
I know. Split.
Okay, because
yeah,
split up. Yeah. 37-year-old woman a few years ago. His mum doesn't live super close, so my son mostly stays with me, but he'll call her a few times a week and go over to her house on long weekends.
All right.
Sounds fair.
Getting vibe.
Reasonable. How long have they been together now? He and his wife? OP and his wife? A few years.
A few years they got married.
Okay, but could have been longer.
Yeah.
Sure. My son wanted to invite me, my wife, his mum, and his brother, who's 19 years old, to his graduation. But each student only gets up to 3 tickets. Oh,
Right.
That's why. This is significantly less, suspicious than I thought it would be. My son tried asking if he could get one more, but they told him that since the school auditorium wasn't very big, they wouldn't have enough seating if they gave every student extra tickets. They did tell him that the school usually does a raffle for extra tickets if they have any open spots, but the tickets aren't guaranteed.
Sure.
This is really common. This happened at my graduations. We went to the same university.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that for a second.
I was like, why are you asking? You were there.
I only got 2 tickets for my graduations. I can't remember if you bought extra tickets. Oh, you had a little family in, didn't you? So you got to sneak an extra person in. I remember. But I did not. And I found it really hard, to choose between certain certain people, it is a choice that causes drama. But what I did appreciate, and this is a good side of technology, was the graduation ceremonies were live streamed, so you could watch them online,
Yeah.
and they were like live streaming them in groups elsewhere, like in the university theatre, so my other family could come, and they were all like whooping me. And although I didn't hear them in the moment, I heard them on the video, and it was so cute.
Yes,
You whooped too.
I did.
Thank you. OP continues. My son talked to me about it and said he didn't know what to do because he wanted both his mum and my wife to be there.
Aw.
Interesting that the brother's ticket is secured. Maybe
Yeah.
that is just a reflection of me and sort of my family, but I just didn't think that siblings would be the ones that's like, yeah, you're a guaranteed spot.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
It's cute. I think that's really sweet. I
guess
just didn't
it depends
expect it.
on the kind of relationship.
He said the son, this is, that he could just invite my wife if it was easier and celebrate with his mum separately. I know that my son is still close with his mum, even though he doesn't see her as often anymore, so I told him that unless there was a specific reason that he didn't want her there, he should probably invite his mum first and put his name in the raffle to try and get one for my wife. He seemed happy with the idea and called his mum to tell her. I think that sounds really sweet.
I think that seems fair. If he's close with his mum and
Yeah.
close with his brother and close with his dad, it seems reasonable that if one person had to potentially miss out or go on the raffle for a ticket, it would be the stepmom, even though it seems like they have a positive relationship if he is wanting to have her there in the first place.
Yeah, I do think that I'm making an assumption when I agree with you there, and my assumption is that the stepmom's not been in the life for very long. I don't buy any of this bullshit of like, oh, it's because she birthed you.
Yeah,
it's because
no,
she
it's not
carried
that.
you for 9 months. Not that. I just think in terms of like investment in a person, if you guys, sound close and like you've been talking and do continue to talk, you even live around there, not permanently, but a lot of the time,
Yeah.
it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't see any qualms with this.
I think it's fine.
Earlier today, this makes me feel suspicious about the step whiffy.
About the whiffy. Mm-hmm. The step whiffy.
Hang on. Step mothery. You know what I mean.
The new whiffy.
The new whiffy, thank you. Earlier today, my wife was asking my son about the graduation, and he told her that he didn't have enough tickets for everyone, but was trying to get an extra one for her.
Mm-hmm.
She asked who he had given the tickets to, and he said me, his brother, and his mum. She seemed a bit surprised, but didn't say anything else. Stay in your lane.
Yeah,
Stepmother,
now,
stay
I think
in your lane.
If
No.
I try and put myself in the position of being a step parent, I would want to be there, but I would
Assuming
understand
that there is
if
a good
we're assuming
relationship.
that there is a good relationship all round, and the kid has a good relationship with their sibling or siblings and their parents,
Mm-hmm.
I as a step parent would love to be there. However, I would appreciate that on the hierarchy of invites,
Yeah.
I would be under parents and siblings.
I'm with you. It's kind of like if you're the most recent person to be hired, you're probably the last person that's going to get picked for like the last Christmas party ticket.
You are funny.
Do you know what I
was
mean?
not one of your best metaphors. You did a me type metaphor just then.
All right, sir, give me your metaphor. You went and dissed mine. Give me yours.
Well, I don't have one because it's not really the type of thing I'm going to metaphor.
No, I'm waiting.
My head keeps going to if you were the smallest piece of fruit in a bunch, but that, I don't know why, I'm very tired.
Jamie's metaphor moment.
Yes, I agree. If you are the
Littlest lemon.
the littlest lemon that has been the least time growing,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't get picked too early or
Yeah.
you don't fully ripen.
Right. I don't
That's
know what
it.
you're
Stepmom
shouting
is
at
not
me.
ripe yet.
I'm with you.
Right.
The reason that I did the work thing is because you see this in work settings and it's like more acceptable. My question to you was going to be, would you be hurt if you were the step parent?
I wouldn't be hurt.
I
I'd want
feel
to
like
be
I'd
there.
have FOMO.
Yes. I'd have FOMO, but it wouldn't be personal against the kid.
I'd be like, I get it.
Yeah, it'd be like, I'd love to be there. I'll tell you what, I'll meet you after the ceremony. I'd be upset if I wasn't invited to like the dinner.
Yeah,
That
yeah, of
kind of
course. There's
thing.
like bigger things that you
Yeah,
can do.
but I would just be like, it's chill.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
alright.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't know why my head went there, but my head just went to, like, sometimes we need to get vaccines and we don't like it and it hurts, but it's like, I get it. I feel like
Your brain went to vaccines.
I
Where is your head?
we have spent the past 3-4 days knocking down large amounts of brick and we are in pain.
I hurt.
My head
everywhere.
is as tired as my body. That's where my head is.
My-
Even doing
my
this around the
fingers
microphone,
hurt.
yeah, hurts. This is quite,
Like,
it's quite cool
my
feeling.
hands feel swollen.
It's the good kind of pain. It's DOMS.
No, it's not
like, you know,
good.
like when you get a toothache and you're like, I know I shouldn't touch it, but I just need to make sure the pain's still there. And then you're like, ow, yeah.
Yeah, I have that with my thumb. My thumb hurts.
Oh, mine's here on
and I
this
keep
finger.
stretching it.
Anyway, we are severely
Sorry.
digressing. Let's get to the end of this post. I'm sorry, OP, we will help you out. Later, she said if I could ask my son to give the ticket to her instead of his mum.
No, bit weird.
She said...
Overstepping.
So the stepmom asked the dad if he could ask the son.
Yeah.
No. Oh, that's so messy.
Yeah.
That to me is worse than asking the son directly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not okay. Oh. And I told her no, because it was his choice and he'd already told his mum.
Yeah.
She said she didn't understand why he would give it to his mum when he doesn't even see her that often and that he should have just given it to her. I told her that I told him to invite his mum. And even if he doesn't see her as often, it doesn't mean that his mum doesn't matter to him.
I see Apollo more often than I see my parents. Should I invite him? That's not what it's about.
I'm totally with you, and I agree with this reasoning. I'm glad that the dad is like clapping back on that bit, but I think he's taking accountability by saying, I told him to invite his mum. It was still his choice.
Yeah.
But she's gonna be mad.
But, and also, his mum lives further away, right? That's what the start of the post said. If you're in school in one place, you cannot be frequently going back and forward somewhere that's like more than half an hour away.
Yeah.
His mum doesn't live super close.
Yeah.
You can't.
And that is why.
You can't be doing
They
that.
don't
Look,
stay,
I'm
but they
hugging-
still
I'm hugging a
call.
pillow. I'm stressed.
Many times a week.
Let's go on stereotypes slightly for a second. A teenage boy
Yeah.
calling his mum 3 times a week.
They're close,
They must
dude.
have a decent
Yeah,
relationship.
I feel you.
A teenager calling their parent.
A teenage they them.
I don't call my parents 3 times a week.
This is true.
Yeah.
Note
and
to
I'm
self,
very close to my
call
parents.
your parents more.
We have good catch-ups. Just not
This
3
is
times a week. Sorry,
such
carry
a
on.
chaotic episode.
Look, it's chaos in my brain right now. It's all just brick walls and pain.
The name of Jamie's new autobiography. I told her that I told him to invite his mum, and even if he doesn't see her as often, it doesn't mean that his mum doesn't matter to
Yeah.
him. She got upset and asked why I would tell him that, and wouldn't I rather spend the day with her instead of my ex?
Oh, is this not about the kid?
That is a bit of a red flag. It's not about you.
Is this not about the kid though? Is this not about the graduation? Is this about stepmom getting a bit jealousy because her husband is going to spend the day with his ex?
Imagine like sacrificing your son's moment though because of an insecurity like that of yourself. That's a bit weird.
Get over it.
I said that it doesn't matter what I thought because my son is really close with his mum, and just because I've had issues with her doesn't mean that he does too.
That's very mature.
It's also not answering the question. It's kind of like the opposite, because you're like, she's annoying, that's why we're not together, but just because I don't like her doesn't mean my son doesn't like her.
But that also is kind of saying like, why the hell are you worried about us spending the day together? We got divorced for a reason.
I just think it's not even about that. It's one of those moments where I'd be like, I am not going to dignify that question with an answer. Now my wife is mad at me and accused me of just wanting to see my ex.
Right.
She's still not getting it. I do want my wife to come to the graduation, but I think that it's more important that my son has his mum there. Am I the drama? No.
No. Your wife is.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
That-
You, sir, are not the drama. I'm actually going to give you a brownie because I think that is good dadding right there.
Yeah, there's some real mature moments in there.
Some good parenting moves.
And your wife sounds a bit jealous. And that's weird.
There is an edit here that provides us with some information.
An edit.
OP adds, I just wanted to add some more info because a lot of people have been asking in the comments. Me and my wife have been married for almost 3 years and she met my kid about a year or 2 before. Right, so help us with the maths, magic man.
So that's like 5 years, so kid graduating was 12, 13.
Yeah, see, like that is a long time to be in someone's life.
It's a long time.
I understand why you'd feel like FOMO for not going,
But that doesn't
you
sound-
have to understand that the mum's been there for way longer.
This isn't FOMO about not going. This isn't about how long she's been in his life from the stepwife.
Yeah,
this is
it's
all
an
about
insecurity.
stepwife. I did it too. From the stepmom. This is all an insecurity about the ex.
What is a stepwife? It sounds like it should be a term.
Stepford wives. Is that what you're
Maybe
thinking?
that's why.
Yeah.
It's like stepwife. It just rolls off the tongue.
It does.
Stepwife. Step-husband. No.
No.
Stepwife.
Stife.
Opie also clarifies my oldest son does want to come to the graduation, and I know that my younger son does want his brother to be there, so I'm not going to ask him to give up the ticket. Of course
Yeah,
not.
why should
and at
you?
the end of the day, it's your son's choice as to who he chooses to go to his own graduation.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. Also, I know I should have talked to my wife about it before, but I wanted to wait until my son was 100% sure who he wanted to come. He called his mum the day before all of this happened and let me know in the morning, so I was planning to talk to her that night, and I know I should have told her before. That's my fault. I actually don't think it's your fault.
I'm not sure what he should have said before because
I'm wondering
this
if
is...
some people are like in the comments are clearly being like, it shouldn't have come from the son.
But this is
you
the
should have
son's
told
event.
her.
Like, this all gets really messy, and like the wife going to OP to be like, hey, could you ask your son to do this rather than going to him direct?
Yeah,
so
it doesn't
what?
change that naughtiness, that spiciness, that
Yeah.
silliness. Also, my son is going to ask some of his friends if they have extra tickets. My wife won't be home today, but I'm going to talk to her later tonight. I think that's really sweet. Obviously, she's on the raffle. It's not like he doesn't want her to go, and if there were 4 tickets, she would be going.
Yeah, but She doesn't want
But
to go.
I feel like she should now.
She doesn't
because
wanna-
she's being naughty.
She should. I don't think she should go. She doesn't want to go for him.
No. Well, I don't think we can make that assumption.
Okay.
In my mind, it feels like she does want to go for him, but she's feeling some kind of way that she's now been put under. And instead of seeing the son's reasoning for it, she's blaming the husband and assuming there's an ulterior motive.
Well,
That's where my head's going.
She's taking this as a attack from her husband rather than just realizing.
Hey, there's 3 tickets, bro.
I hate to use the word like hierarchy, but using the hierarchy when only having this limited number of tickets.
Yeah.
It's the kid's prerogative to choose who he wants to be there, and I think he's chosen, given all relationships are positive, the most natural choice of the 3 people to get the tickets.
Even if it wasn't the most natural choice, it's what he wanted.
It's not the husband's fault. All he said was, don't feel like you should exclude your mum because maybe
Unless
this
there's a
son...
reason that you don't want her to be there, I think it'd be a good idea for her to go.
Yeah. I wonder if the kid was thinking, oh, maybe it'll be easier because you won't argue, or yeah, you don't have to be around each other.
And honestly, I totally get that. I, as you know, and as I'm sure the Peaches know, because I've spoken about it a couple of times, come from quite a messy, complex kind of like family background. Just a bit. But I am a broken family child, as they call it. And my parents divorced really young. And it's always a problem at these big events. Well, always used to be a problem, I will say, until I had my autonomy and like grew up and was like, no, this is what I want to do. Having said that, like it's not dandelions and roses. It's still somewhat tricky, but in those moments and as a child it's even trickier because there is a lot of pressure on you to not want to upset people. But also I can think of at least 3 separate big occasions in my brain where I wanted people to come but felt like I shouldn't and ultimately didn't invite people because I didn't want things to be awkward for other people there. And I feel like that is also potentially what Son could have been doing. So it's quite a powerful move for the dad to be like, unless you don't want her there, I think you should do that. Because that conversation with him being like, I don't know what to do, easily could and seems to be coming from a place of, I don't want to piss you off.
Yeah.
You know, I want to keep the family stuff not stressful.
I hear you. Should we see what other people had to say?
Yeah, what's your badge? Did you give it?
Yeah, so not the drama.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, not the drama.
Yeah.
This one seems quite simple. What do other people have to say? Most definitely Nata.
What? Your son's graduation isn't about you or your wife or your ex. It's about your
Yeah.
son and his actual parents, assuming they're both involved in his life, and it sounds like you both are, should get to see this milestone happen. Your wife is being incredibly insecure here. It's not a contest to see who looks more important to your son.
Yes.
She should be ashamed of her making his big moment about her instead of him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you know what she should do? She should
Get in the bin.
pull her socks up, get the stick out of her ass, make her way to the campus with them anyway, sit outside, go and get some like flowers
With
or whatever it
binoculars.
is that he likes, some Lego or whatever, have a little coffee whilst the actual ceremony is happening and enjoy the rest of the day, because a graduation is about way more than just that one ceremony. There's so many other ways that you could be involved. Be involved in the photos. Be there to watch him throw the hat. Do they do that at high school graduations?
Don't know. Let's go with yes.
My point is, be a good parent. This is not being a good parent. Maddie, Moldy Brownie.
To the stepmom.
Yeah.
Got you.
She's pissed me off.
I can tell. She's also only known his son a few years, plus also went and made it about her jealousy of her husband's ex.
It kind of bugs me that, like, she has also only known his son for a few years. I'm like, what else would it be based off of? The fact that you guys share blood? Because that's not really what it's about.
Yeah, and I think, like, people can invite their partners to milestone events that they've only been together with for a few years. It doesn't mean they shouldn't. This is a new person in his life that he's building a connection with, has built a connection with.
Yeah.
And that's still his stepmom at the end of the day, whether she's been in his life for 5 years or 10 years.
It's his hierarchy.
It can make a difference to how kids form attachments to step parents depending on the time they come into their life, but there's plenty of examples of people who are much closer to the step parent who've only known them for 4 years compared to people who've had them in their lives for basically the entire time.
Thank you, Mr. Doctor
So-
Psychologist.
Bleh. That's my formal comment on the matter.
Jamie, 2025. Blah.
Bleh.
You are definitely not the drama your wife is, though. His mother's just as important, if not more important, than his stepmom to him. I'm really glad that those last 2 words are there because that is the crux for me.
Yeah.
He only gets 3 tickets, and unless there's some reason that his bio mum shouldn't be there in his life, like she's abusive, then the ticket should go to her. That's the bit that I disagree with.
Well, no, I think they're saying, like the dad said, if there's no reason why you wouldn't want your mum there, then invite your mum. They're saying if there's no reason why she shouldn't be there, then she should be there.
Okay, I guess
They
for
just
me,
used
the
a
word
specific
biomum,
example.
yeah, like gets my back up a little bit. And it's like, if there's no reason that your biomum shouldn't be there because she's abusive, then it should go to her. It's like, well, no, because if you like the stepmom more, or you value the stepmom
But also
more,
it's like,
if that's
i.e.
his
she is
hierarchy.
abusive.
Yeah, I think I'm just reading into the
because
comment
also
too hard.
typically there is a reason why people wouldn't be close to their parents, i.e. abuse, i.e. something else.
Some
So I
sort of
think that's what
complication,
the comment is
like
getting at.
rippling on from the split.
Sure. all. Yeah, and I think they're just using biomum as a marker to compare to stepmum.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that it's actually nothing to do
With
I've said this
biology.
before. It's got nothing to do with biology
Yeah.
or blood. It should just be to do with his closeness and proximity in terms of the bond, which only he can determine his own little hierarchy for.
And he has done that.
I congratulate you, sir, on your graduation, and I hope you had a wonderful time.
Yes. I'm sorry, but did your now wife help create, carry him, labour him, then birth him?
See, this is the
No.
comment that I really don't.
Yeah,
I was
I don't
not
agree with
wanting to
this.
see this.
What about like adoptive parents?
Then she had no right to ask that of him, whether or not his mother and him have a strong relationship. That's his mum, and really an unfair ask. Even if it was an adoptive parent, like, it's just like the idea that, oh, just because there's an onus
Yeah.
because of a label, that's
Yeah.
what pisses me off.
I hate this kind of attitude because this could very well be somebody being like, oh, your 18-year-old child that you adopted has connected with the birth parent but doesn't want to invite them. Well, you didn't carry them, labour them, create them.
Yeah, it's a bit
You
silly.
only raised them for their entire lives and were their actual parent.
You only formed the only strong, healthy attachment
But
that they know.
23 of the chromosomes are not from you, so therefore you are not in the hierarchy.
I do so see your point, and I do think it's really important to make sure that we're not basing it off of those. And this is
Yeah.
where the principles matter, not just the context, because
Yeah.
as you're right, taking it into other principles, that doesn't work. That rule is not the one.
Uh,
Oh, you are the drama.
Oh, because this is a conversation you should have had with your wife and not been blindsided by your son with the news. But does that mean that if the son hadn't had advice from his dad, which he was perfectly allowed to get, and the dad was perfectly reasonable in giving his son some advice, that if the son
Or
had
just
come
sharing
to
his
that
thoughts.
entirely on his own without any input from his dad, that the son should have gone to his dad first to then tell the stepmom?
I'm
that
with you.
Seems
That's odd.
weird.
But even so, like, I don't understand this, like, oh, you've been blindsided. It's not like she's being served a big blow.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, well, you know what, there are 4 tickets, and even though he could invite you, he's decided not to. You know,
Yeah.
that I would understand. Hey, there's an issue, and it was probably going to come up, so I need to talk to you about this. But, dude, there's 3 tickets.
Yeah.
And he's chosen 3 people. It makes sense. Your name's in the raffle. At this point, I'm really thinking it shouldn't be.
No. Yeah, no. She needs to go over it.
To be fair, I'm more mad at this commenter. I don't know if the wife still has her viewpoint, but I hope that she can see this stuff and be like, yeah, okay, I stepped out of my lane.
Like, what was the dad supposed to do to stop her from being blindsided? Like, hello, wife, he only has 3 tickets and you're not invited. I'm sure she would still have felt blindsided by it because it's the same news.
I guess it's not
Like,
being
I don't-
told in the context of a family function, like being taken to one side and being like, just letting you know that I had this conversation and basically I said that this would happen and it seems like maybe he's gonna invite mum and you might not get a full ticket. I hope you know it's nothing personal.
It's not like she walked in an outfit she was going to wear to the graduation ceremony and he went, nah.
I don't think it's like a big enough deal to be blindsided by. Not the fact that she isn't able to go. I understand that. And the sadness that can come from that if you have a really good relationship. But the idea that there's only 3 tickets.
If I were in this situation,
Is this the thing that you rush home for?
I wouldn't expect an invite.
Oh, hello. Oh, I'm so sorry. For this bad news, are you sitting down? I just need to let you know. Yes, it's a bit bizarre. I disagree with this.
I do as well.
Drama. Am I the drama? My husband wants to go to barbecue despite us having a screaming 6-week-old.
Oh, very context dependent. If your partner is struggling and you've just had a baby, or not struggling, you've just had a baby and it's really overwhelming, you're not the one that gave birth. I feel like the person who did the birthing in this situation, if there is a birthing parent, should be considered. And whether are you then going to leave screaming baby with one parent at 6 weeks old? It feels a bit overwhelming. I feel like that's the nesting time.
Yeah, but Jamie does barbecue. I hear you.
I'll
Should
tell you
read the
what.
post.
You carry and give birth to a baby, and if you want to breastfeed, have been doing that kind of stuff, or you're at least like, I just feel like there's a lot more pressure when you give birth on your body.
Well, yeah,
That,
especially things like recovery and stuff.
I would pick up on extra things.
So you wouldn't go to a barbecue?
I wouldn't leave you
if
alone.
we had a 6-week-old.
No.
We
but
take the baby to the barbecue, but not put them on the barbecue.
if you
Is that what you're saying?
if you were up for going and we felt like we could deal with that, I don't know. I don't know what there's an age, isn't there, that you shouldn't really take babies out.
I actually don't know. All I have in my mind is like when puppies can't go out before they get their first set of
Yeah.
vaccines. Yeah, I'm sure there will be
Yeah.
maybe a similar rule. Do babies have vaccines that they can't go out beforehand?
They do have vaccines, but no, it's like there's like a newborn stage where it's not advised you really take them many places, right? I've heard that. People have told me that.
We've got a lot of reading up to do.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Do you want to read
Okay.
the post?
Yeah. OP says, not me, gave birth 6 weeks ago and it's been rough. Recovering from emergency C-section. Or isn't 6 weeks like your minimum recovery time?
I'm pretty certain a C-section's 8 weeks.
Yeah. Like that 6 weeks isn't a very long time to recover from
I know this because our
major
friends
surgery.
recently have gone through
that.
I was like, no, look after yourself. And I'm pretty certain 8 weeks was the
Okay.
number. I don't want to say it wrong though. Let's do a quick Google. I stand corrected. It seems to be 6 weeks. Oh, 6 to 8 weeks.
And I'm sure it varies
Varied.
from person to person.
Yeah.
Anyway, recovering from emergency C-section. Plus, they think I may have a liver pancreas issue as I keep being unwell.
Oh, no.
Plus, my mental health took a dive, let alone newborn care.
Oh.
This sounds like what should be happening is
No barbecue.
no barbecue.
No barbecue for you.
Recovery and taking as much rest as possible and spending time with your baby is priority right now. Anyway,
Wait, it's not OP that wants to go.
no.
But still,
No, I'm
as a
saying that in
family unit,
general, that
yeah,
should
sure.
be the priority. Anyway, my newborn is screaming anything from 2 to 4 hours every night.
Oh no.
Trying everything to soothe and remedy her as most likely colic. Oh, I've heard that is incredibly stressful. So far, no meds or methods have changed her behaviour. That's stressful.
And it's tiring.
Yeah.
And it's loud.
Do you know what got me through my last surgery? Sleeping all the time. Do you know what you can't do with a newborn? Sleep all the time. Oh my God. We also have a 6-year-old who has very different needs.
Oh my gosh. So this is a second child.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
Yeah. Dude,
Well, this-
what are you doing? Oh my God. Carry on.
He's being a typical dude.
He wants his meat on a skewer. Carry on.
I'm sure he doesn't want his meals. I don't know, he's had 2 kids. While the 6-week-old screams, the 6-year-old needs a bath. Bedtime story, etc.
Yeah, of course you got routines, and this is like a big family dynamic upheaval where the kids are going to be acting out more because they're not the only child anymore.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We've been tag teaming this.
As you should.
One parent on one child to make sure both are okay, but it's still been unbelievably hard on all of us.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
His guy friends invited him to a barbecue tonight, and it would literally be him leaving just as the 6-week-old kicks off.
So do they mean like
As in
with
the timing
bath time
that the
routine,
yeah.
you would need to go at the time that I need to start looking
Or
after?
the time that the 6-week-old typically starts screaming at night
Yeah.
because of the colic.
Yeah.
And of course it was going to be his guy friends. Of course this wasn't a family barbecue.
Well, I'm trying to see this from both points of view. So far, I need to be careful because I want to see the rest of the post. I can see a world, though, in which maybe his guy friends are like, dude, it's been 6 weeks and he's also not great. Like, yes, okay, baby mama clearly is not having a wonderful time. It's emergency C-section, liver pancreas issue, mental health,
Not feeling
plus newborn
well.
baby care. That is rough.
And a 6-year-old.
Yes, and I'm sure that dad is also having a hard time with this as well.
Oh,
not
yeah.
as hard a time as
But-
mum, but still a hard time.
Where is
So-
mum's barbecue?
I hear you. My point is, maybe guy friends are like, it's been 6 weeks. We can see that he's having a rough time. We're doing something. Let's get him out of it for a bit. Let him have a night to himself. You know, like maybe they're there to look after him. And I get it. They're not thinking about the mum in that situation. I'm just saying, I don't think it necessarily has to come from a bad place just because it's guy friends.
What I meant is from the title, this could have been the husband saying, hey, I think we're ready to go to this family barbecue.
Shall we go to our little
I think
thingy? There'll be a bouncy
yeah.
castle for little 6-year-old
Bob.
Melita.
Okay, sure.
Bob?
But what I'm saying is, like, of course this isn't something involving all of them. This is just for him.
Yeah.
That, I'm not surprised.
Sure. It's only his skewer and meat.
So I said, please don't go. I need help at that time. Keeping in mind his friends meet regularly, and it's not like if he doesn't do it today, that's it for a year.
Oh, okay. So this is like an ongoing barbecue.
I think you were being very generous to be like, oh, maybe they really cared about his mental health.
like, oh, this dad's going through it.
Yeah.
Let's give him a night off.
Yeah.
Some beer and cards. Yup.
You're so sweet and naive. I love you. OP continued. He kicked off saying, babies cry, just cope, I'm going.
Oh, that's
No,
not okay.
That is not okay.
That's also in bunnies. Do you think he said it like that?
I think that was a quote.
Maybe he was
My gut
desperate.
reaction.
He's like, I need to go.
My gut reaction was just be like, divorce, but we don't do that here. I tried to point out that I know they cry, but it's not about coping, and I felt it was really selfish that he was choosing to pick his friends over his family.
Absolutely. And you know what? It could have been very different. He could have wanted the same thing, but you know, if he had said, hey, sweet, I know you're going through it. I am so fucking tired right now, and I am going absolutely insane, and I just need a night away. Is there a world in which we could orchestrate getting you some additional support so that I can have this time away? And I so appreciate that you also want and need this too, and we'll make this happen the other way around as well.
Yes.
That would have been the same want, but a very different way to approach
and
it.
if OP had been like, I don't want to do this without you yet, I'm not ready for additional help,
Then you deal
and
with that.
I'm also not ready to go be social, so I don't get the reciprocated night off.
Yeah.
I need you. If we had a 6-week-old baby, one, I wouldn't even dream of going out on my own without you. But if there was some world where I posed it to you that, oh, there's this thing going on, can I go to it?
Yeah.
If you said, I really need your support right now, I would not go.
Absolutely.
I would not be saying, babies cry, just cope, I'm going.
No, very
What
yes,
a crap
yes.
sack of a human.
This is not okay. This is moldy brownie badge
Yeah.
behavior for sure. I was just saying, like, I do see a world where if this was to happen, I'd be like, no, please go, because you need this. I need you to recharge and be in a great headspace because you'll be able to help me out more
hear
as
you.
well, and you deserve that time off.
I hear
you know
you.
that there is a situation in which it wouldn't seem unwise or unfathomable for him to go.
Yes, I do hear you, but I think given the situation,
Yeah.
what
No, I'm not
she's
saying
gone
here.
through,
I'm just talking about like
yes.
alternates where I can see a world.
If you were like felt your body was quite comfortably at least almost back, or like you'd recovered,
Or if I was just mentally feeling like okay with that moment.
Yeah.
Or I might be like, you know what? I don't want to do this bedtime bit by myself. No, you are staying to help me, please. But then how about when 6-year-old is in bed? Did I say 6-year-old? I meant 6-year-old.
6-year-old.
Melita grew up very fast. When 6-year-old is in bed.
I thought Melita was a 6-week-old.
I don't remember anymore. You're confusing me. When the 6-year-old is what I'm saying, is
Okay.
in bed and asleep.
Rhonda.
And I've just got, you know, little 6-week-old that I am nursing. Sure. Maybe at that point I could be like, right, if they're close, go and pop off for an hour. If I
Right.
need you, I'm right here.
Sure.
You know, there's a way in which compromise can exist.
Yeah.
If you, as a parent, need that time away, you also have to realise that that is something that should be accounted and accommodated for as much as reasonably possible.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. We talk a lot in ultimatums.
Sure.
And I think there are hypotheticals in all of these situations that are worth exploring.
OP continues, I even said if it was any other time, I wouldn't have a problem with it. He's gone back to work and I'm coping with that. It's just literally that time of night that's tricky. He kept saying that I was being controlling by not letting him see his friends. It turned into a really bad moment for us where I was devastated to be called controlling. I really don't think that's what I'm trying to do, and that he just couldn't see it from my point of view. I feel like if she's saying, hey, if your friends were having a lunchtime barbecue, go. I think having a 6-year-old and a 6-week-old and already having to deal with that on your own whilst he's at work, while still recovering from major surgery and liver issues and all of this stuff, the fact that she's just gone, it is literally this time of night, I cannot do it on my own. That's like saying, look, I could move that chair,
Yeah.
but I can't lift up that door frame.
Jamie's metaphor moment.
I'm still being really confused as to
don't
why
know
you
why
can't
you
just
did
go
the
later.
Sorry, that's the fact. But you know, she's just saying, under this exact circumstance,
It's
I
just
can't
not the
cope.
right time. Yeah. Or even if you'd said yes beforehand, but on the day was just like, I'm so sorry, I'm feeling so overwhelmed. You bloody cancel. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you are a unit and this comes first.
Yeah.
It just has to. Hierarchy.
Yeah.
You made a commitment. You've got a dependent. And right now your wife is also a dependent. I say wife, I don't even know if they're together. But your baby mama is also a dependent.
And to call her controlling because she's gone, any other time, I can't do the bedtime routine right now by myself, I need you.
Yeah.
You are a parent, they're your kids too. You have as much responsibility over them as she does. Why should she have to deal with something that she doesn't feel ready to deal with?
Absolutely. And whilst we are talking about assumptions as well, you know, just keeping that in mind, he is off at work. He's got that time away.
Yeah.
She does not. She is clearly very unwell. This has not been an easy pregnancy for her by any means.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like someone who is truly being controlling would be able to acknowledge it and be like, I was devastated.
Yeah.
This felt like a really bad moment for us.
Yeah.
I really don't think this is good. Do you know what I mean? Like, a truly controlling person, I don't think would be coming on to an Am I the Drama forum and asking questions like this.
But, and also, I just can't get over the fact that his response to her saying,
I know.
I can't cope, is
Oh my
babies
God.
cry, just cope, I'm going.
Absolute moldy brownie behaviour right there.
The next day he apologised, said he was completely wrong, could see how bad things would be if he went, and said he wouldn't go.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Well, at least he recognised that.
We all have moments and we are all allowed to slip up a little bit.
Yeah.
Time has provided perspective. Yay.
Fast forward to today where he tells me he's going. And if I can't cope, he'll take the baby and drop her to his mum's to look after.
What happened?
I don't think that's okay. I bet you one of his buddies.
If I can't cope, he'll take the baby and drop her to his mum's to look after. I mean...
What if she doesn't want the grandparents to look after them right now on their own? Maybe she'd be happy with his mum going to her and like assisting but not taking sole care.
What about as well well, I guess it depends on how rowdy a barbecue could get, but like having the barbecue at your place, having some friends over, if it's a small group and you're just having dinner, do that at yours.
Sure, but
I just think there
weird.
are so many other ways that you could have thought about ways to accommodate both of your needs, but instead he's just gone nope, and now without even talking to you about it, I'm going to take your baby away, I'm going to drop him off with his mum.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, like, well, we don't know what OP's relationship's like with her mum, but isn't it also a thing where, and typically this happens for like new mums, they don't necessarily want to be apart from their baby. Not everybody, but like it feels like a bit extreme to literally be like, I'm going to take your baby away for the night.
Also, like if your baby's got colic,
like
your baby's not well, you're not well. Oh Lord.
So anyway, his mum isn't close by, doesn't know all the things we are trying colic wise, like the meds, and would have to deal with a screaming baby. Also, my baby doesn't know her and is only 6 weeks, so all round not a good solution. He also knows things are a bit tricky between me and his mum, so I feel like this was a bit manipulative on his part, as by letting his mum help, she'd find out I'm not coping, and because I would never want her to know I'm finding it tough and I'm unwell, etc.
I think he's spoken to mum.
Yeah, he has spoken to his
like a
mum.
meddling, just no, mother-in-law.
This is another one of those examples of a grown-ass fucking man not being able to stand up to his mother and having some like boy mum that babied him.
One assumes, but the signs are there.
The signs are very much there. The signs are neon.
Carry on.
I'd have to back down and say, okay, then fine, go, I'll stay. He knows I'd never pick his mum as an option, but can now say he's found a solution where he can go. I feel like I'm going crazy here. I just want some support from my partner at the time of the day it's most difficult with our baby.
You know what you've got instead?
A
3
man
kids.
child. Yeah. Honestly, Sabrina Carpenter song all over. I feel really bad for OP in this situation, because like being parents and the parenting responsibility should always be equal. I get it, he goes out and works, and that's like a double-edged sword where he both gets time off from a new baby that's crying and has a couple problems. He also didn't give birth, but he is the one working and coming back and looking after kids as well.
It does depend,
However,
like some people's place of work may be seen as a break in comparison to having a baby.
But
if you've got a
others
relatively
won't,
cushy office job where you've got relatively little stress and you've got a team that you really get on well with, and so you're socializing and having your needs met elsewhere, fab. It could be that you are working your ass off with a lot of manual labor and coming back absolutely exhausted.
True. However, you're still a parent.
Yeah.
You are still parenting with somebody else.
I wasn't saying that to excuse him.
Oh no, I know. She's been looking after their kids all day. He has a responsibility to take his share of the childcare.
100%.
And if he's not ready to step up, then why the did he have kids?
I can see wanting to go to a barbecue. I can see having 6 weeks, which is a lot of time, right? Away from friends, particularly if you guys socialize a lot on the regular. I get it. What I think is worse is this insinuation.
Yes.
Especially if you feel like it's a manipulative thing. And what I'm realizing from this post, using the words that OP has said, is there's a lot of distrust in this relationship. He's calling her controlling. She's calling him manipulative. And these are not words that we use lightly in a relationship.
Yeah, and he's also yo-yoed with her emotions on this by saying, I want to go to this barbecue.
I'm so sorry,
giving her
I get
opportunity to respond, then just turning around and going, I'm going anyway, turning it into a massive argument, calling her controlling, groveling to her the next day, and then coming up with a solution that he knows that she won't like.
Yeah, and
then
it may
making
be,
it sound like she's the problem.
I'm with you. And it could also be that this is all coming from like external influences. At the same time, that's still not okay. You are a grown-ass man capable of controlling your own feelings. You made a decision, you bloody stick to it.
Yeah, and you have 2 children that you have 50% responsibility to look after, and you have a wife
who right now needs you at home.
Yeah, wife, partner, we're not sure.
Sure.
But you have a partner,
baby mama,
who has birthed your child 6 weeks ago and needs your support. So be there.
Who's throwing up and is trying to look after a baby with colic.
Man, child.
I've just got Sabrina Carpenter song in my head now. I would be surprised if anybody calls OP the drama.
Well, I'm saying definitely not the drama, and that was
Absolutely
gets a
not
moldy
the
brownie
drama.
badge.
Absolutely.
And potentially so does his mother, but certainly the fact that he ran to his mummy.
I'm assuming that has happened, right? Because you don't say, oh, my mum will do it without having had that
Spoken to
conversation.
her.
But then you would think that you would not even have that conversation without asking your partner if that's okay.
Yeah.
And yet he didn't
like,
do that. So
I would never dream of like, you have a good relationship with my parents, but imagine if I turned around and was like, right, I'm going out, and without asking you and knowing if you're okay being away from your 6-week-old, my mum's going to take her for the night.
my bean digressed, but that's exactly what I was trying to say. What?
Just imagining a little baked bean flying out your head and just going, wee.
But that's my point. Yes, the wanting to go to the barbecue maybe is childish, but what that was significantly worse because you're doing that without asking. That is so not okay. To try and separate a parent from their child and make that decision without that person involved.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell do you think you are?
Knowing that she's now going to struggle to say no because of the judgment that he will 100% know that his mum has of her.
But even without that, that's just not an okay
No, it's
thing
not
to do
okay,
to a
but
parent.
it's extra not okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not only been done as a suggestion.
And if you can't see as a parent, like, that your kid who is going through experimental treatment right now for things that you don't quite understand because they're having a really rough time with it, that's going to be a really not fantastic environment to give to somebody new, far away and away from the mum,
Now
just
is
so
not
you can
the
have a
time.
barbecue. Like, what kind of a parenting decision is that?
No.
This is
And
big
what
red flag
kind of
energy.
partner decision is that as well?
Yeah, gross.
God.
And then for him to call you controlling, I'm mad. I'm smad.
You're mad. Do you need a hug?
No, I think OP does. But sure, I'll take one.
It's too hot. Ugh.
Not the drama. Tell him to take the 6-year-old to his mum instead. I mean, yes, that is an option, but also, no, stay home. She wants you
Yeah.
home. You guys are a family unit. I just don't think that that's a wise idea. Actually, having said that, I think this is a really good example, though, of where what you want and how you say it could be different things. Again,
Okay.
if this was a situation, a solution that was presented, if he was like, I really need some time away, I really would appreciate some time with my friends.
Yeah, let's talk about how that could work together. And
Yes.
literally, she sounds really understanding. She's just like, just make it during the day. Saturday, lunch barbecue with the boys, do it. Don't come home drunk so you can still help me with bedtime routine, but just don't leave me for this little section of the day.
And ask that instead. Be like, okay, if the issue is dealing with both at this time, seeing as I really feel a need for my social battery to go, is there a world in which we can drop 6-year-old Malulu to mum? You know, like, but no, you didn't do that. You just executively made a decision. Why are you pulling that
Malulu.
face? I'm just...
Making me laugh. So. Yeah, he executively made a decision that he knew she wouldn't like. But somebody replied to that one though, going, honestly, my blood boiled at that. The threat of taking a 6-week-old off a struggling mother who doesn't want that, arsehole.
Big
There
time.
is a reason he didn't suggest sending the 6-year-old to grandma.
I mean, the reason could also just be that he's really stupid. And I'm kind of getting that vibe.
He could be really stupid, but it also feels
could also
like
be really
he's
calculated.
undermining her ability to parent.
Either way, bad parenting move, bad partner move, do better, you moldy brownie.
It makes me so angry. I just feel like he's gone to his mummy and gone, Mummy, she can't cope with our new baby.
And again, like, is this my toxic positivity? I do believe, like, because we don't know, we only see these snapshots, it's important to see it from both points of view. Maybe mother-in-law is snide and sneaky. Why are you giving me that face?
Because I want to hear what you're saying.
Oh no, I'm saying maybe she is like, haha, yes. It gives me great joy to know that baby mama is not coping. My son wants a barbecue. Of course he should be able to go.
Of course my baby boy gets his barbecue.
Yeah, very that. It could also be that he's gone, oh, mum, I'm so annoyed. You know, she's just called for a catch up, whatever. And he's gone, I just really need some time away. And she's gone, oh, well, I'd love to look after your little bean. I'll take her. Not a problem. You know, and not knowing any of that stuff. There is a world in
There
which that
is,
could...
except
I'm not saying this is
OP
what's
has
happened.
said things are tricky with mother-in-law. There are things have happened in the past that would suggest it was not a
I know.
altruistic move on her part to be taking 6-week-old.
I know. And we need more information on all of these things to be able to
Sure.
judge it properly. My point is regardless of that situation,
Yeah.
it's still not fair because he is in control
Yeah.
of being like, no, that's sweet, or ha 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 ha, whatever it might be. I don't think she'd appreciate that, or I should have a chat with her first. To just executively make that decision.
poo head.
Get out of here. Not the drama.
You are welcome to attend your barbecue tonight. Tomorrow night you will stay home with baby and child while I go out and have my break. I can guarantee he won't agree to that. Try it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because he's off at work, well, he'll know how difficult the bedtime routine is, but he's not dealing with them all day and taking on all that childcare responsibility, where he's then already exhausted from childcare at the end of the day. And I know he might be exhausted from work, but there's different types of exhaustion.
Yeah. It does make me sad as well, because I can see a world in which this would be a totally fine thing to stay. Okay, you need some time off, go have your time off. And then I can have my time off. I've heard it so many times. I think it's actually a really clever idea where within families, one parent will go and book like a little bougie, luxurious hotel night stay.
Yeah.
They'll go and have room service and
But it's
not have to make
always
the bed.
it's reciprocated.
And then sure, the other parent
Yeah.
can do that another time. And it's not to like be seedy or to want time apart from each other. It's just to have time for oneself.
It's to let your battery fill up a bit.
It's to find your pink again, right? With the whole like flamingo metaphor, which I think
Yeah.
is so absolutely
You
beautiful.
haven't eaten enough shrimp.
For parents, exactly. If you're giving all your nutrition and your pink away to your kids, sometimes you need to get that back
Yeah.
for yourself. That's what I'm saying. I guess moments like this, I just feel so lucky and privileged to be in a relationship where we can see a world in which people would agree to that.
Yeah, but you also know that I wouldn't do...
What this guy's done,
Yeah.
though, yeah. But it's so sad to think that you like this is even an option that actually probably makes a lot of sense in certain types of relationships where you have to call someone's bluff or
Yeah.
play that card, right? And then know that, oh yeah, they won't like it if I went and had some time away. Like, oh, the world makes me
It
sad.
just feels like so much pressure. Honestly, I'm just talking about this from my perspective. I'm not saying what OP should do. This is a huge red flag behaviour from the husband.
Yeah.
I would not want to be with someone like that. Unless he turned around and was like, really sorry, I got dragged in by my mother, like saying some things to
I'm
me,
tired.
making me see a kind of way. I'm mentally exhausted. I really messed up here. I'm so sorry. And to make up for it, let me do X, Y, Z. Unless that happened, if he carried on with this, if he went to that barbecue, I'm leaving. Seriously. If he takes my baby to mother-in-law and
That
goes
would
to the
not be
barbecue,
okay. Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Taking the baby, not okay.
If he does anything individually, or well, he wouldn't take the baby if he wasn't going to the barbecue. That was where I was getting at. But like, just this behaviour, I'm 1 foot out the door as it is. I can't stand it.
Yeah. Stand up for yourself, my love. And for anybody else who might be in a similar relationship where you're seeing these kinds of things, know that this is not okay. This is not something that you have to put up with. And you should absolutely be able to enforce the boundaries that you want for you and your family.
Straight man.
Straight men.
Not the drama. Remind him that after a C-section, we aren't usually cleared for returning to work until 8 weeks.
Oh,
with
I was not the
no
only one.
complications. Leaving you 6 weeks post-op is unreasonable in so many ways. You still technically have a weight lift limit, which your 6-year-old probably exceeds. He's being selfish. He's being inconsiderate. He's being delusional if he thinks this is okay. I'm glad you were trying to make him see this. I used to back down too easily and prove to everyone how I could do it alone. Not healthy for anyone involved.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to.
It's really sad that OP feels like she can't be open with a family member, his mother, that things are difficult.
Who seems to be like a relatively reachable source of support,
Yeah.
or should be.
Because it's perfectly natural. You've literally just had a baby. That is like one of the biggest things people ever go through in their lives, and it is exhausting on every single capacity of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And it's okay to not be okay and to need support, especially from your partner, who should be there without question to support you.
I'm going to say something now, and you're going to be like, oh, you problematic person. There'll definitely be some people who say this in chat. Understand
Oh,
that I'm
God.
coming at this from a really deliberate place.
Okay.
We need to remember as well that these situations can be infinitely complex, right?
Yes.
And we have to take posts on face value all the time, but we also need to try not to make assumptions and think about all potential outcomes.
Okay.
And this is what my head does a lot, thinking about lots of potential outcomes. Something you've just said reminded me that OP has spoken about the mental health issues that she's currently experiencing. And postpartum is a real thing. And it's a really powerful thing that a lot of people just don't understand. There could also be a world in which OP, because we're seeing this through OP's lens, which is biased with
Right.
stress,
Yeah.
with overwhelm at the moment, that everything else is feeling very exaggerated. Maybe in what he is saying, maybe in feeling like the mother would not sort of take kindly to her having issues. It could be that this is her viewpoint on it now, and it could be a hormonal thing, it could be a stress and overwhelm response, or it could absolutely be the case. My point in saying this is, regardless of where that is coming from, that is how OP is feeling, and the husband should be accommodating any which way.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going. I was gearing up to disagree with you.
But I do think that it would be a good idea to seek some support if this is how you are feeling and you're saying that your mental health is taking a knock, because as a new parent, you've got to be as well as you can be. It's just really overwhelmingly sad to think that a partner in any of those situations would still leave you and think that that's a good idea.
No, it's horrible.
But I'm just saying that because for me, that is definitely something that comes into my mind and something that I would want to explore as a hypothetical. I'm not saying that is the case here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's an important thing to consider for other people who could be in similar situations. I don't want to say attacked, but often it does feel like attacked a lot on this podcast for thinking about other things by people who very much take what I say and these posts incredibly literally, and it does bug me. So I guess I'm just saying this as a reminder that this is my podcast and this is what I find useful. So
be kind.
be kind. All right, my love, one more.
Yes. Am I the drama for saying my ex emotionally cheated even though he says he had no romantic feelings for the girl?
Ooh.
Interesting.
How? I'm confused. OP says, I'm a 23-year-old woman and I've broken up with my boyfriend, a 26-year-old man, of 4 years after discovering messages that made me feel completely betrayed.
Oh.
He insists he didn't cheat because, quote, nothing physical happened, and he, in bunnies, had no feelings for the girl. I still feel like it was emotional cheating and complete dishonesty. I do think I'm not the drama, but I am an overthinker and want other perspectives on whether or not I am the drama.
Okay, interesting.
So he says he has no feelings and nothing physical happened, but she feels like he emotionally cheated. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Boyfriend went on an 11-day university field course last year and I supported him fully. I packed him individual care kits for every day with snacks, electrolytes and meds because it was scorching hot and I wanted to help him stay well. He barely kept in touch, just sent a few random photos, but I didn't think much of it because I knew the course had a hectic schedule.
Sorry, is he a grown man or a toddler?
I think it's very sweet.
I packed him care kits for every day. No,
Would
it's
you not
very
want
sweet.
me to create you little
It's
care
very
kits?
sweet to do, but like I will make them with you, or I make like my own little things to take. I don't know.
If you were going away
irks
for 11
me.
days and I saw something like this, I would feel inspired to do it to support you. If I had time and I remembered, I would. I think that's cute and I think you're being
wouldn't
too
have
mean.
time and you wouldn't remember.
Probably wouldn't, but the thought is there.
Okay.
We were in a serious long-term relationship. I'm very type A, top of my class, future focused, driven about career and higher education.
Wow, is this just you?
What is type A? What? I'm not like that. Am I like that?
Top of your class. You literally got an award for being top of your university
Okay,
year.
Jamie, this is not the point. My
You are
point
very
is...
future focused. You are very driven about career, and you have a PhD. I'm sorry.
Okay. But I don't think this is what drives me. I drive to live in the moment. I aspire. I didn't mean to have a PhD. I did that because I was lost and confused and just said yes because I was scared to make other decisions.
Sure, Jan. I
Don't say sure, Jan, that's true. I'm trying to say, like,
know.
I'm not that kind that's like,
Yes,
degree at
no.
21, top of a law firm at 23. That's not me.
You're not fully type A.
I'm feeling
You
very
have
called
some
out.
elements.
The reason
but you
that
are.
I'm asking this is because I've never heard of this phrase type A before.
Okay.
And then you attacked me.
I don't want to mess it up. I learned about it at uni. Type A.
And you have a PhD too, sir.
Type A personality is characterized by traits like being competitive, ambitious, driven, and impatient. They are often high achieving, enjoy taking charge, and are highly organized, but can also be prone to stress. It's you.
Okay, but it's also just other people's responses to being neurodivergent and experiencing trauma.
I know, but do you think maybe
gorgeous.
you have that response because...
I don't want to chicken and egg this right now. Can we move on? This is very uncalled for.
Okay, you're also a risk taker and you're good at leadership. And you're impatient and irritable.
Get irritable right now. You put that down and continue with this post, sir.
You don't want to know about type B personality.
Okay, so is there just two types? Is it like there's
Type
two
A and type
types of
B.
people
Yeah.
in the world?
To be honest, I don't think you are fully type A.
Okay.
You're not, because type B, easygoing and relaxed. You can actually be very easygoing.
Thank you.
Although
you're painting a very different picture. And whilst I do love you, Peach community, you only see a snapshot of my life, so I'm kind of nervous about what you absorb from these conversations.
No. It also is context dependent. There's some context where you're type B and there's some where you're type A.
And that's because I'm a Gemini.
Patient and tolerant. I would not say you're patient.
Depends on if I've had my bill.
You are flexible and adaptable.
Very much so.
You are competitive.
Sometimes. Not when we're playing board games.
Yeah, you're not like, oh, competitive. You're just...
I don't need to be the best. I just
Yeah.
want to be happy.
You're competitive with yourself.
But that's not a normal person's definition
Yeah.
of competitive, sir.
And you are very prone to procrastination.
I also have ADHD.
Yes, and lack of motivation. Potential for overlooking details. That's me.
It is.
Yeah. But
Apollo agreed.
what's that noise? But yeah, strong social skills. That is you.
What, is that type B or type A?
Type B. I have weak social skills, but I'm not type A, but I'm not type B either. I think if I did not have anxiety, I'd be type B.
All I'm trying to say is I can see the type of picture that this
Sorry,
OP is
sorry.
trying to paint, and I
Yes.
don't think I am that.
No, you are not that.
Thank you.
You have some strong elements of a type A personality.
There is nothing wrong with being that. My Asian parents would adore if I was that, but alas.
You are too scattered.
Yes, and artsy fartsy for that. Anyway, OP continues. From a
Yes.
few months before and during all of this happened, I was ready to make long-term plans. Marriage before going abroad for post-grad.
That is sad.
He, on the other hand, was more laid back and less grounded in reality. When I tried to talk about timelines and plans, he would get irritated and say that I was nagging, uptight, or too serious. For instance, once I pointed out that his goal for his GPA was mathematically impossible and suggested he consider retaking a course or two, he told me I didn't believe in him.
Hey, you want to have 100 jelly beans, but you actually only have 98? I think you need to go get 2 more jelly beans. No, you don't believe in my
me.
jelly beans.
Jamie's metaphor moment.
That's so silly.
I tried to help him grow. He saw it as criticism.
Okay.
And again, see, this is what my brain does. I'm like, okay, there are two things happening here. One, yes, as OP says it. However, the second thing that could be happening is OP could be being particularly harsh about it. Maybe OP's delivery is criticising.
I can definitely see I'm not the best with criticism, and it's because I get embarrassed really easily. So I always feel embarrassed when I get critiques, and you are always wanting me to be the best that I can be in all situations.
Yeah.
Sometimes that clashes,
Yeah.
but after we've had that discussion, give me 5 minutes to digest, and I'll be fine.
A little bit longer than 5 minutes.
Sometimes 50, and sometimes
Overnight.
an hour. Very rarely overnight. Most of the time it's like within 15 to 20 minutes. I will have digested and I'll be like, no, okay, I see where that came from.
Yeah.
It can be difficult when you pair people who are like, I want the people I love to be the best and I want them to strive for the achievements and level of ambition I have. And then when you pair that with people who either don't have that ambition or strive, or with people who are not very good at criticism.
OP's partner here just sounds dumb though, I will
Yes,
say.
that does sound
This is
silly.
not okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's not criticism. That's just truth.
yeah.
And trying to help you with a goal that you are supposedly stipulating that is what you want. Anyway, says OP, we finally took our first trip together. A huge deal for us given that we live in a conservative country. On the last night of that trip, I found texts between him and a girl he met during the field course.
Oh.
Why are you looking at his phone?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like blame you. I'm just also seeing this as another potential flag.
Yeah. It might be that OP was looking at his phone, or there's sometimes where...
It popped up and you're
Yeah.
like, who's this?
Yeah.
He'd started tutoring her for the IELTS. He tutors a lot of people and it changes frequently, so I never asked him any details about that unless he shared. So naturally, I didn't know about her. Turns out he'd met her in cafes, which he never did with other students because he mostly teaches online. He texted her late at night and even took her to a very pretty restaurant alone because she was bored in Bunnies and nagged him to take her there.
No, bullshit.
That is cheating. That is I would be very unhappy if you did this. Other things, tutoring a cafe, okay. Texting late at night, okay. I've texted a plumber very late at night before. It doesn't mean anything. All of these things together, and specifically the isolated incident of taking someone to a pretty restaurant alone without telling your partner.
Yes, it's the without telling. You can absolutely go with a friend alone to dinner at a restaurant and it not be date-like.
Yeah.
But what's bizarre...
Even a pretty restaurant.
Yes, a pretty restaurant. But you tell your partner.
You
There's
don't
a
hide it.
reason why you're hiding it. And it's not like this is a friend. This is somebody he's supposed to be tutoring. So this isn't the dynamic of their relationship for them to go have dinner together, the two of them.
And let's also remember the context of, oh, nothing physical happened. So clearly something's going on, you know? I'm trying to tie the front and the back together, which I don't
Yeah.
normally do very well. Okay, a place only accessible via a very bumpy rickshaw ride, which leads to close physical proximity,
Oh.
which with a person you've known for a month maybe shouldn't be comfortable. And a month later, he took me there and lied to my face that he had never been. That is a
No.
massive
Red flag.
flag.
He dipped
Not
himself frothing ketchup at that restaurant.
He did, and he stuck himself on a pole.
Up.
In their chats, he complimented her photos, asked her about the boys that she was talking to, and told her she looked beautiful. I'm so sorry for you, sweet. You absolutely did the right thing breaking up with this
Yeah.
person. I confronted him. He got defensive and said that I breached his privacy. You did.
That is, yeah.
That was also wrong, but that doesn't make him any less wrong. I wasn't even trying to snoop. I've never gone through his phone. We both
Okay.
knew each other's passwords because it was a cutesy thing about the other. I only used it to text my brother because my internet wasn't working and then saw her chat head. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. When I see these things, like, I would really rather you just be honest. Even if that was the case, you clicked on it. You scrolled through to see the other messages. Accept that you are snooping. You had reason to snoop. I see this.
Yeah, quick digression. Do you feel like there is an excusable situation where you've seen a notification pop up and you're like, that is not an okay message from somebody I didn't know my partner knew, something's going on here? Do you think then it's okay if you're already on their phone, they know that you're on the phone or whatever because you're using it for other things?
Do you know what it would be? For me, instinctually, I'd be like, hey, what's this message? Hey, what's going on here? Like, I would immediately ask you. And do you know why? It's not even because I'm quote unquote trying to be a good person. It's actually coming from an entirely selfish place of, I want to know and be fully informed about something before I, one, make assumptions that could be going down the wrong route, but also I don't want me doing something to damage our relationship.
Yeah.
That is a betraying of trust.
Yeah.
If you're going to mess up our relationship, cool. Obviously not cool,
Have
but you
no
know,
plans to.
I don't want to be a part of that. If I'm then snooping, that's two things that we need to overcome if it's something that we want to work through.
I hear you.
I'd rather just have the one, or to just walk away knowing that I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think otherwise?
I have very mixed feelings about it. I do see it as like a blanket, somebody's phone is their phone, you shouldn't snoop just because you're a partner, whatever. I do think there are some situations where I'm like, I wouldn't have snooped, or like, you still went through their phone, which is technically a wrong thing to do, but what they've done, you deserve to know. And if they are lying to you about that, you couldn't trust them to tell you the truth by confronting them, by just basing it off of a
I
message
hear
that
what you're
looks a bit
saying.
sus.
We looked at something like there was an issue where a partner, actually a fiance, was looking on Tinder and spoke
Yeah.
to someone on Tinder because he had denied it.
Yeah.
And she'd given him reason to. She then did that of her own accord on her devices, not his, I
Yeah.
will say. I do hear what you're saying. My point is, though, as I'm sure we also discussed, like I recall discussing in that podcast episode, if it's gotten to the point where you feel like you cannot trust that person to tell you, that in itself is enough of a problem. You don't need to lower yourself by doing that.
It's really complicated because it could be you'd think that, oh, maybe they will tell me. But then if
Yeah.
they don't, I think my head does excuse it when the partner has actually done something wrong. But then when it's just looking for the sake of looking, just to check in on them,
Yeah.
then I don't.
I do hear you.
And I feel
you
like
know
that's
what?
a contradiction in my own like morals.
I don't think it's a moral contradiction. I think it's a grey area. My qualm with this one is the fact that she's not being honest. If you see a chat head, you don't need to click on the chat head. You don't need to scroll through the messages to see the things that you have seen. You are at that point actively snooping. It's fine for you to be snooping. Just be honest that that's what you're doing. Call a turd a turd.
Well, she did say I wasn't trying to snoop. She's not saying I didn't snoop.
Okay, but
she
now
said
we
I
are
wasn't
splitting hairs.
actively trying to
The
snoop.
point is, you snooped, okay?
But I see her as actually kind of softly admitting that she did snoop,
Well,
but she
because
wasn't.
he says that he gets defensive and I breach his privacy, and she's like, oh, well, I wasn't trying to. Yeah, but you did. It's not okay. Take accountability for the fact that you did. That's what I'm saying. Just take accountability.
Okay.
He can be very, very wrong, and she can be wrong for snooping. Both things can be true. That's my point.
Okay.
I can see so many worlds where, in our experience, for example, like I just think about me being in a relationship with you, I do have your phone. Quite often, I need to airdrop myself something. Oh, you took those cute photos on the beach. Could I grab those, please? I don't know. Your phone is ringing. You've asked me to answer it because it's an unknown number. And your phone is down on the sink and I'm brushing my teeth and I see that someone has texted you. In all of those situations, though, we do both go, oh, sorry, didn't mean to look. Even now, however many years on we are in our relationship, oh, sorry, didn't mean to look.
Yeah.
But that is also coming from my perspective, which is biased because I've had massive issues of privacy in the past where I have
Yeah.
been tracked and bugged and not had a great time with feeling like my private stuff is my private stuff.
Yeah.
So it means a different thing to me than it does to you.
Sure.
And that's all I'm saying. We come at these with our own perspectives. That's okay. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to do because in grey areas, I can see it. What happens though if she did the snooping and there wasn't evidence and he wasn't actually cheating? Is she in the wrong?
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky, isn't it?
So in those situations, we can't base the action on the result.
Yeah.
It's wrong or it's right. In my mind, you know, like there has to be some form of blanket rule, and of course there are grey areas, but just take accountability for the fact that you snooped. That's my viewpoint. But
Okay.
I wouldn't be mad at people who didn't see it that way.
I think I'm less harsh about her wording. Yeah.
I found out that before our trip, he texted her saying he was going on a trip with his friends and wished she could come too. That trip, he was actually going with me, my brother, and my brother's girlfriend. When I asked him why he said that, he claimed it was just a friendly joke, and I felt sick.
Full of shit.
This dude is 1,000,000% emotionally cheating on you.
Yeah.
That night, I called the woman directly and I asked her.
Oh.
Whoa, that is ballsy, and I respect it.
bold.
She sounded genuinely unaware of my existence and assured me that there was nothing going on between them.
No, but when they're unaware that he's got a girlfriend,
That in
like,
itself is saying enough, isn't it?
I will go to the dentist and they know I have a wife, you know? Like, it's just, you are a big part of my life. You come up in conversation with everybody I
Don't go
talk
to
to.
a social restaurant with somebody
Yeah.
where you have to do a bumpy, sensual rickshaw ride to get there
How do you have
and not bring up the fact that you have a partner.
How do you have dinner
of
alone
5
with
years.
somebody? Yeah, that's so... No, that's not right.
No, but it didn't matter, says OP, because his actions spoke for themselves. The lying, the secrecy, the way that he hid things from me, it was all out of line. Agreed. That betrayal didn't need physical proof to hurt. Also agreed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's done enough at that point.
Yeah.
You don't need to snoop the phone to know how you feel. The day after, I found out my father needed open heart surgery.
Oh, God.
It was one of the most emotionally and physically overwhelming times in my life. I had to handle hospital, home responsibilities, and classes, and I was traumatized. I didn't have the strength to go through a breakup on top of all of that, so I stayed.
Yeah.
And instead of showing up for me, he went on a trip with his friends. He called maybe once a day, and his only real support was finding a blood donor. That's it. And even after I told him not to talk to her again, he reached out with an excuse about getting his money back. But he made small talk too, nothing that sounded like a person setting boundaries. She didn't even know that I existed. To him, none of this counts as cheating. He never took accountability and kept saying there was no romantic feelings, it wasn't physical, you're overthinking. But to me, this was emotional betrayal, lying, and selfishness. Months later, he admitted that maybe he was experimenting with his loyalty to me.
What does that even mean? Do you know what that means? He was like gearing up to cheat on you.
Yeah, he claimed he wanted to see if he'd still choose me, like I was some
Gross.
kind of emotional baseline. It made me feel disgusting and disposable. So you stayed with this guy months after this happened.
Because of the situation with
Right.
her dad.
Right.
I'm really glad that he's your ex, though.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, you deserve so much more, my love. He says I was too serious and too focused on the future, whilst he just wanted to go with the flow. But I was planning a life with him, not just waiting around. So am I the drama for saying that this was emotional cheating?
Not the drama.
Oh my god, the biggest
He is
drama.
a big fat mouldy brownie.
There's been a lot, 3 moldy brownies in a row, like genuinely warranting of moldy brownies.
Yeah, and it's none of the OPs. It's all
Oh, yeah.
people in the stories or who the OPs are talking about. They've all
Yeah.
been the mouldy brownies.
Real sad.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything more to say. This is just disgusting, and it's made me more smad. I am 3 times
more
smad.
3 times smad.
3 times smad.
You need a cookie.
He literally said he was experimenting with his loyalty. That crosses beyond emotional cheating for me, not the drama.
I feel like at that point,
It
like,
is emotional cheating, but it's
I'm-
just cheating.
I'm sad that OP had to come to a forum to know that they weren't wrong. Because, like, the guy literally said, I'm experimenting with my loyalty and lied to your face.
Sometimes I think it can hurt, and I think sometimes when you want something enough, you can try to will yourself for it to be the truth. So if you've got someone who you've been with for the longest time and is part of this huge plan that you have very structured in your mind, and you want them to want you, and you want them to not have cheated on you. If
Yeah.
they're going, I didn't, you're overthinking. With all the will in the world, there will be a part of you that
Yeah.
holds on to that because you want that to be true.
Yeah, I hear you.
And you owe it to yourself to have a tight grip on reality.
Yes.
It's mad.
Not the drama. You're broken up now, right? Because this is the only appropriate response to his bullshit.
1,000,000%.
Totally
I
agree.
will say though, like, ballsy move calling the person.
Yes.
I have mad respect for this.
I feel like there were nails in the coffin the whole way. And to me, even before he admitted the whole, I was experimenting with my loyalty to you. The fact that he was having
That voice.
dinner with somebody and lying about it, and she didn't even know he had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
That, to me, is he was looking to build a relationship with this other woman. Or
Yeah.
seeing if he wanted to build a relationship with this
His
other woman.
eggs were not in one basket.
Definitely not.
And if you didn't sign up for that, smack him in his face.
And his eggs.
Smack the eggs in his face.
Oh.
Don't smack him in the face.
Oh, I was talking about his eggs being testicles. Kick him in the balls, metaphorically, because we don't condone violence. Let's put aside what does and doesn't constitute cheating. Did he betray your trust? Yes. Is he showing any remorse? Doesn't sound like it. Is there also a bigger issue that you are not on the same page about your future? Yes.
Yeah.
I think sadly you were stuck in a relationship with someone who knew he didn't want to be with you long term, but didn't have any better options, so have been stringing you along for who knows how long, hoping a better option came up. Good for you making him your ex. I think this is a very good read on the situation. I mean, he literally said he wanted to see if he'd still choose her.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this person's absolutely right.
Yeah, wow.
It's mad.
This has been an episode.
It really has. Wow. I've never seen so much shit.
Drama.
I feel like we need to have a shower to I feel scummy, from being exposed to
I think
these
it's just the humidity.
buttholes. I'm hoping and manifesting Peaches, there you go, sending positive vibes to rid and cleanse you. Here is a sage stick, blip, 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 of all of the moldy brownie goop that has been flung on you today. Wow.
But this has been a lot. Well,
Icky.
thank you for having me on our podcast.
I've got to anti-back some of these germs. Blech.
Anti-back some of these germs.
Yes. Shaaba's
Okay.
metaphor moments, baby.
They're all tiny little lemons that still need to grow a lot.
And they can do that elsewhere because you, especially this last OP, do not need to be with them. Drama. Thank you, Peaches, for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, maybe consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing if you'd like to see more and you're watching this over on the YouTube channel.
If you are listening to this on a podcast platform, please think about giving us a rating. It really helps. And you can also rate each individual episode as well as the podcast as a whole. So do all of the lovely rating.
And do remember that the 1-800-DRAMA subreddit is there for you if you would like to submit your own drama or if you want to help some other Peaches out who are submitting their dramas because we can't get around to them all.
Go do it.
Be kind
Much love.
and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Peaches, 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 oh, yeah. Do you think I could be Jack Black?
I mean, no, but you could be Shaaba.
Not as cool.